What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today we will be previewing what used to be the biggest game in English football, Arsenal against Manchester United. Forget El Clasico, this is El Bantico in full effect. Two fallen giants trying to climb back up that ladder. And can Arsenal get the victory this weekend at home? They need to. And as you can see in the title today, if they win this game, I think it's probably the end of Man United's season. Top four out the window. And, that should add as further motivation to Arsenal to win this game. We need to win this game as much as anybody. So big up to everyone for tuning in. Happy Friday. Big weekend coming up. I was just watching the press conference there of White against Fury. So a big sporting Saturday. Arsenal against United. Dillian White against Tyson Fury. Obviously Spurs play Brentford. I'm hoping for an Ivan Toney masterclass as well in that game. Big up everyone tuning in. Who's favourite for El Bantico? We'll get into that, to be fair. Big up the Twitch gang, everyone watching on Twitch, everyone on YouTube as well. Make sure you smash a like on the video. And let's go into Granit Xhaka mode or Harry Maguire mode. Apologies. I was planning on doing a collab today. And Kevin Campbell, he's in London today and he's not at home, so he couldn't collab. So we're going to do it next week. Next week, there's no midweek games for Arsenal. So we'll get a couple of collabs going next week. And unfortunately, Saeed, we couldn't sort that one out in time either. So we'll definitely get collabs in next week. Big up all the see you net. Big up to each and every one of you on this Friday. It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. Come on, you Gunners. Let's do this. If we can't beat Manchester United in this state, we will never beat them, people. Because I'm telling you, they're all over the place right now. And listen, man, you got to catch them. But I got to be honest, people. I'm a little bit apprehensive about this game. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are very, very confident and expecting us to just batter Manchester United. But I always feel with Arsenal, we're at our most... We're kind of at our weakest when we're confident. Every time I expect Arsenal to beat somebody, we end up mashing up the weekend. And we went to Manchester United earlier in the season. They just sacked Ollie. Michael Carrick was in charge, and somehow we still went there and got beat 3-2. Cristiano Ronaldo, 2 goals, unmarked, and we threw the game away. And I just look at this game and I think the way Manchester United played against Liverpool, it was almost like they'd given up before the game had started. It was damage limitation. They even brought Phil Jones back. That's how desperate they were to just not get battered. I think they will approach this game very different. And I think when you know you've beaten a team earlier in the season, psychologically, it gives you that upper hand. Like we're saying here, Ronaldo is back. Now, how is Ronaldo going to deal with this game? He's had an unbelievably emotional week. On one hand, is he not going to be in the right frame of mind? But on the other hand, I know myself growing up, I always used to say that the football pitch was my place of happiness, my escape from anything else that was going on. And I think Ronaldo will probably feel quite relieved to be on a football pitch, which probably makes him dangerous, to be honest. I've got to be honest. So I think this is a tough game for Arsenal, and you won't get any massive predictions from me in terms of 3s, 4-0, nothing like that. I think this will be a close and dangerous game for Arsenal. I really do. Random Empire says, Arsenal will revive Rashford's career and make Maguire look elite since we are Father Christmas to teams with bad runs. We do it all the time. I don't understand why. But when a team's out of form, we throw them the victory. You look at Southampton. They got beat against Burnley yesterday. And... or was it Wednesday? No, yesterday. They lost to Burnley. We couldn't even score against Southampton at the weekend. So we'll see. Anthony said, yo, as soon as you start streaming videos on Twitch press conferences, I'm downloading that app 50 pence. I'm going to get into it next week. Something I need to let you all know. At the moment, as you can see, I'm dual streaming. So when I'm streaming, the stream is on YouTube and on Twitch. Once your channel gets monetized on Twitch, you're not allowed to dual stream. So basically what they say is, if you're going to do a stream on Twitch, it can only be on Twitch. which then causes a bit of an issue because obviously YouTube is the home and, you know, Twitch is like the hotel you stay in every so often. So I'm going to have to do additional content to get it on Twitch. So from next week, I'm going to kind of set up a schedule and then we'll make sure there's content on both. So just to keep you updated there, people. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Looking forward to this game. I got to be honest, this for me growing up was the best game of the season. Not even Tottenham. You know, Manchester United against Arsenal, Wenger and Ferguson, Omri and Van Nistelrooy, Keenan Vieira. Now it's McTominay against El Neni and Ketia against Maguire and an out-of-form Rashford against Rob Holding, you know, and Arteta and Wreck-It Ralph in the dugout. So I don't know what's happened to these two clubs. Were they arrogant? Did they think they'd be at the top forever? You know, I just don't know what's happened. But El Bantico, people, in full effect. King Bobus, thank you very much for becoming a member on the channel. We're going to do a member stream probably on Monday to round up everything that's happened. So we'll do it Monday afternoon around 4 o'clock. And I want you guys to come on and give me your opinions on Monday. The Twitter derby, man, 100%. Don't diss the GOAT, Eddie. Listen, as I've said, people, I believe that Eddie, even though he did brilliant the other day, a lot of people were saying, you owe Eddie an apology, blah, blah, blah. I give him his flowers for the performance. He has to back that up for me. It's not enough. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, let's give Eddie a new contract. Nah, we're a long way from that. You know, I need to see a lot more before I start giving man new contracts. Gone from Harrods to Oxfam. I'm telling you now. We was buying Gucci and Louis, people. You know what I mean? We're in Primark right now. It is what it is, people. The game's changed a heck of a lot. Wasim said, been wearing my shirt with pride since the Chelsea game. Don't let me down now, Arsenal. Massive game. We have to win this game. Listen, a draw's not enough. It needs to be 3 points. Get United out of the top 4 race. Then it's a straight North London shootout, Arsenal-Tottenham, and we can move ahead and focus, people. Right, we've got a few things to talk about today. We've got press conference reaction. I haven't watched any of his press conference, so I've got no idea what he was waffling on about. But I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about. We're going to start off with transfer news before we get into the game. I want to discuss a potential team lineup. In my opinion, I believe Arsenal should change their team for this game. A lot of people are saying the formation worked, the team worked, stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I sometimes think as a manager, you have to kind of change depending on who you're playing against. I actually wouldn't play the same lineup that played against Chelsea, against Manchester United. I think we need to adjust a little bit. I think we were very defensive, hitting them on the counter-attack. I think when you're at home, the onus is on you to dominate the ball a little bit more. And I think we're going to have to tweak it slightly. So we're going to speak about that as we move through the show, people. So big up to all of you for tuning in. Make sure you lick down that like button. And let's talk transfers, people. So let's talk about a couple of transfer stories that have popped up as the season, you know, they'll be in talks with people now. And a player we're being linked with is Marcel Sabitzer. The Bayern Munich midfielder is one of the players that has been supposedly told he can leave Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Now, Sabitzer is a player that I wanted Arsenal to sign before he went to Bayern Munich. When he was at Leipzig, brilliant player. Not a number 10, but an attacking midfielder. Very all-rounded, talented player. Good shooting, good passing, very good. He's had a bad season at Bayern Munich. He went to Bayern. It was the big move, blah, blah, blah. 22 appearances this season, only 12 starts, 1 goal and no assists. Bayern Munich have told him he can leave this summer, and they only want £15 million for him. £15 million for Sabitzer, people. Now, just to give you a bit of context, he's 28 years of age. He turned 28 around 3 weeks ago. Would that put you off? Do you think with him being 28, Thomas Partey's around 28, 29 as well, would you want a younger midfielder? Sometimes he plays out wide as well. People saying he's been playing out wide for Bayern Munich. Would you still take him? I've got to be honest, for £15 million, as Martin's saying here, absolute no-brainer. For 15 million, all day long. Absolute baller, quality on the ball, can pass, can shoot. It will be desperate to prove himself because people will be saying, oh, he flopped at Bayern Munich. Absolute 100% no-brainer for me. I would take him all day long. I don't care if he's 28. I think you need experience. He's better than Xhaka. Daily Marcel Sabitzer on the way, people. But listen, as you can see from the story, it said Arsenal alongside Atletico Madrid are interested in Bayern Munich midfielder Marcel Sabitzer, who is one of the players who will be allowed to go in the next transfer window. So, of course, if Atletico are in for him, that may make it tricky. Obviously, they will probably be in the Champions League. What competition will we be in? I would definitely sign him for 15 million. Apparently, he's on around 75 grand a week, which is not difficult for Arsenal. Granit Xhaka's on 120 grand a week. So definitely would sign him. 28 years of age. Would help the squad, experience in Europe, and I would definitely sign him, people. Aram said Partey is actually 45. Well, that may be why he keeps breaking down, you know. But yeah, I would definitely take Sabitzer. Interesting one here that someone's put in, and I actually can't find it now, but somebody put about, I don't know if anybody watched the Big Six last night. I was in the comments. I watched most of it, and they were arguing about Thiago and Cesc Fabregas, which for me, I mean, that for me is not even a discussion. I got to be honest. They were having an argument over Thiago at Liverpool and Cesc Fabregas. Now, for me, Cesc Fabregas is generational. And I don't use that word often. Cesc Fabregas is generational. 16 years of age in the Arsenal team. He bossed Patrick Vieira when he was just turning 18, when Vieira was at Juventus. Bossed him. Ripped it up for Arsenal. He was the captain. He played deep lying playmaker. He played number 8. He played number 10. He played false 9. He scored over 50. He scored over 10 goals a season. Took free kicks. He went to Barca. I think he won 4 trophies there. He won the World Cup. He won the Euros. He even came back to Chelsea and won the Premier League. And now, listen, I respect everyone's opinions on football. It is what it is. And I love Thiago. Let me not cap. Thiago is an absolute techie baller. But I believe even Thiago himself would tell you he's not better than Cesc Fabregas. Not a chance. I don't even think they're on the same level. Like, I would say that Cesc Fabregas will be an icon on FIFA when he retires. He's been that good of a footballer. He was pivotal in that Spain team that won the Euros and World Cup. Thiago doesn't even start that often for Spain. So I'm not being biased whatsoever. I am a massive fan of Thiago. I would have loved him at Arsenal a number of times he's been available. You know, Barca got rid of Thiago very quickly. He was good at Bayern Munich and he's done well at Liverpool. I wouldn't say he's done amazing. Cesc Fabregas, clear. I would have loved to have got in that debate. I was in the comments. But Cesc is clear of him for me. And like I said, Jake, I don't use the word generational often. That brother, Cesc, was special. He was special. Who can go in an Arsenal team at 16 and boss it? He was a joke, absolute joke of a player that we've never truly replaced. Like Cello said, Cesk's career, Thiago's career. I mean, listen, sometimes a worse player than you can have a better career. Look at somebody like John O'Shea at Manchester United. Champions League, Premier League winner. It doesn't mean he was a great player. He was part of a squad and he wasn't integral. But Cesc, for me, was just absolutely unbelievable. Probably after Vieira, my favourite centre midfielder that Arsenal have had. I got to be honest. I like Cesc that much as a player. Steve said David Silva better than both. Yeah, he can't take his Man City cap off. But listen, I do like Thiago. I want to make that clear, but Cesc Fabregas, generational. Granit Xhaka said the real question is Fabregas or Granit Xhaka. I'd have Cesc Fabregas now over Granit, and he's about 35 now. But no, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Good debate, that, though. Definitely a good debate. When I get Turkish on, we'll have to talk about that. Just quickly, while we're talking about midfielders. Arsenal, again, being linked with Yuri Tillemans. And it says that Arsenal are front runners. Arsenal are currently front runners to sign Yuri Tillemans, a player both Edu and Arteta admire. Arsenal have met with Tielemans' agent on multiple occasions to discuss a possible move and know he won't sign a new deal, so he could be available for as little as 25 million. Now, I've got slightly mixed views on this deal. Would I take Tielemans? Yeah, listen, he's better than Granit. He's better than Granit. It's as simple as that. My initial thought is he's better than Granit Xhaka. You've got to take him. I do think he's had a poor season. I've watched him play a number of times, and I don't think he's been good this season. Now, has he mentally switched off because he knows he's going to leave this summer? I do think he's very good on the ball. I also think he's better in a three-man midfield than a two-man pivot, because I don't think Youri Tielemans defensively is that switched on. He likes to go wandering. He likes to go forward and look for goal and create chances. Listen, I would take him. And for 25 million, of course I would take him. But playing him next to Partey with Odegaard in the 10, I still think defensively that leaves us a little bit open, because I don't think Partey is a defensive midfielder. So Tielemans, listen, if you offered me Tielemans right now, 25 million, I'll take him. I would take him, because he is a good player. He's Premier League proven, and he's only 24 years of age, Belgian international. He was actually close to signing for Arsenal when Arsene Wenger was in charge. He was going to sign him from Monaco, but we missed out on him. I don't think we were that desperate to sign him at the time, and he went to Leicester. Listen, I would take him for 25 mil. I've got to be honest. But if I had a list of midfielders, he wouldn't be at the top. I think he lacks mobility. I think he lacks defensive awareness. And I think he's better in a three-man midfield rather than a double pivot. So I would take him. Maybe he's down-tooled a little bit at Leicester because he knows he's leaving. But listen, he's a good player. If we got him, I wouldn't complain. Let me put it that way. Neves, for me, said Glenn. Robocop, he's 24, which is a good age. And you would be looking at him thinking you could develop him. Cal, I agree with that. I would sign Basuma ahead of Tielemans. As I said, for me, I think Arsenal are not really interested in Basuma. Most of those links have come from fans and the press. And Basuma has this court case hanging over him. Basuma is 25. I mean, I would take him all day long over Tielemans. Amari said, how can you, man, turn him down? And that's it. It's like having £5 in your pocket and someone's offers you £10. You can't turn it down, even if you wanted 20. It is what it is. He's better than Xhaka, but sometimes it's not about being better than someone. It's about working better in a system. And also, to get the best out of Thomas Partey, we need a midfielder that's going to allow him to play to his best rather than having to babysit someone who's not that switched on defensively. 25 million, I would sign him regardless, because we need depth. We're going to be back in Europe, whether that's Champions League, Conference League or Europa League. So we're going to need depth. So 25 million. I mean, for 40 million, you can get Sabitzer and Tielemans. In this day and age where there isn't a lot of value for money in the transfer market, Arsenal could be very clever this summer and not have to break the bank to get good midfielders in, to be able to maybe go and spend big for a striker, which I think is the position we're going to have to spend more money and get somebody a little bit more expensive. So, listen, there's going to be options there. And obviously, if you're in the Champions League, it will open doors that maybe weren't there for us. So they need to be clever. Big up the family podcast. If we were going to sign someone else to seriously challenge him, then yes. Yeah, I don't want him to come in and be like, oh, there you go. There's your place. You're going to play every week. I don't want that. You have to put pressure on people when you're trying to get back to the top level, Big up Luca, who said, big up Curtis, happy Friday, hope you're okay. I'm good, bro, hope you're well. Big up everyone in the chat, hope you're well, hope you're blessed, hope you're looking forward to the weekend. Massive game tomorrow. I'll be live from 11:45 a.m. UK time, so an early one, 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal against Manchester United, El Bantaco, people, the two fallen giants. Can we get that Champions League spot? It's going to be a big game, that's for sure, an important one. JK said, for 40 million, I'd take both. 20 million for a fullback, then 90 million for a striker or two. Yeah, I think we need two strikers. I think we need two. I don't think one is enough because who's the backup to that player if he gets injured? Are you going to go back to Eddie or is Balogun ready? For me, we need to sign two strikers this summer. So we'll have to see. Tucky said Liverpool built their success of these kinds of shrewd signings plus a couple of big signings. And you're right. You look at it. Sadio Mane was not a world-class player when they signed him. Man United turned him down at one stage when Van Gaal was there. 30-odd million. Clubs looked at him, weren't sure. He's a little bit unpredictable. Salah, people were like, can he come back to the Prem and do it? Didn't happen at Chelsea. Even though he wasn't really given a fair chance at Chelsea, people were like, maybe he suits a slower division. Blew the place up. Bobby Firmino was an attacking midfielder. Changes in, plays him up front. Robertson came from the Championship. Trent from the youth team. You know, Van Dijk looked as if he was maybe overpriced at 70 million. Now you would probably say he's worth 140 million. He's the best centre-back in the world. So we have to be shrewd with the signings. We can't afford another Nicolas Pepe, 72 million, who doesn't do anything substantial. We can't afford another Mustafi. We can't afford another Granit Xhaka. Our signings have to work. They have to work. That's the only way we can bridge that gap, because we can't outspend Manchester City. We can't attract the players that Liverpool can attract. We have to be clever. Recruitment is everything, people. It really is. Big up my bro Theo Smith in the chat. He said, El Bantico. You know what time it is, man. This used to be the big game of Premier League football, but El Bantico in full effect tomorrow, people. That is for sure. But it is an important game. It doesn't matter how bad we are. It is important. Snake Eye said, big up the legend, Big C. Big up yourself, bro. Hope you're well. Jota, very smart signing. I remember him ripping Hector Bellerin in a pot at the Emirates, and I was saying, I'd love to get that guy to Arsenal. Look at the man now. He scored 20 goals this season. I never thought he'd play like that through the middle. So it just shows you get the right players that fit your system with the right coaching, things can change real quick. Fitz, you're right. They have Klopp. Man said Arsenal have the cone, man. I mean, listen, it's about knowing what you want to do, getting players that fit that system. You look at the players that Klopp signs, they don't often not work. He signs Diaz, hits the ground running, signs Wijnaldum, becomes this great centre midfielder. Henderson, for me, was bang average. He turned him into a very important player, whether you rate him or not. He got Thiago for 25 million. They're so shrewd in the market with Michael Edwards. This is what we need to start doing this summer. So anyway, people, let's get into press conference reaction. The Cone Man himself is back. And Mikel Arteta. But listen, it's been a great week for Arsenal. Let me not cap. The week before was a disgrace. We needed to beat Chelsea just to get ourselves back in with a chance. We need to win this game to actually start pressing ahead. Tottenham play at 5:30 tomorrow away at Brentford. We'll all be Ivan Toney fans 5:30 tomorrow. We need to win and put the pressure back on them. So in order to do that, we're going to have to win this game. King, hey, big up Gambian Gooner. He said, Big C, an uncomfortable conversation in the near future. We may need to sell one or two of Saka, Martinelli, ESR, Odegaard, Gabriel to be able to be like Liverpool. And I know what you're saying. A lot of people say this. They say, well, Liverpool, because they didn't have the money that City had, they had to sacrifice Coutinho to get Van Dijk and Alisson. So a lot of people are saying, is there going to be a time where Arsenal need to sell Martinelli or sell ESR to go and buy two big players? I would hope we don't need to do that, because I don't think Arsenal necessarily have to go and spend 75 million on a centre-back. It's about buying the right players. That's what they need to be more. We've spent big money before and it hasn't worked. It's got to be the smart money. Right. Big up Stephen Davis, who said, love the channel, my bro. Big up to you and the community. We got the best community here. Absolute legends, all of you people. What's the point in qualifying for Champions League when we can't win it? Listen, and I agree with that mentality, because that's how I look at football. What's the point being in it if you can't win it? But the reality is, sometimes you can't go from here to there in life, people. Sometimes you have to go there, then you go there, then you go there. That's just how football works. That's how life works. The cleaner probably wants to be the manager, but the cleaner might have to get a job in the office first, then be the... You got to work your way up. We're not going to go from 8th to title winners with Arteta and with Kroenke. Let's get 4th. Let's clear out some more deadwood. Let's bring better players in, attract better players, bring that star quality back to the Emirates, big Champions League nights, more money, build again. Arteta may hit the ceiling and say, right, he can't take us any further. We get the bigger manager. Or he may develop and become that bigger manager. Only time will tell. But we're building. And unfortunately, listen, I agree with you. We're not going to win the Champions League next season if we get in it. But this is the reality. We're not going to do anything sitting in the Europa League because players will reject you. So it's the reality of football, I'm afraid. So if you're not in it, you can't win it. Exactly. At least you're in it. At least you've got a chance. A few years ago, nobody would have thought Tottenham could win it. Now, Tottenham didn't win it, but they got to a Champions League final. Nobody would have expected that. Stranger things have happened. Villarreal are in the semi-final. So anyway, listen, people. Press conference reaction is back, and we are back with Mikel, the Cone Man Arteta, Cone Man music. Mickey Rouse is back, big smile on his face. The Teflon Don rolled into Stamford Bridge and left with 3 points. Thomas Tuchel was blaming the pitch. He said it was like a bouncy castle. They couldn't play on it. It was impossible for them to play. Christensen, the pass was because of the pitch. That's why he underhit the pass back to the goalkeeper. I'm not going to lie. If I heard Arteta making them excuses, I would be annihilating him. I don't know what's wrong with Thomas Tuchel. I don't want to hear them kind of excuses. You got beat. You was arrogant. You rotated the squad and you lost the game. Sometimes you got to hold that L, my friend. I'm telling you. So listen, I have to big up the team. They won the game. But if we don't beat Manchester United, that win goes out of the window. Good teams win games consistently. Man United are on their back right now. You can tickle their bellies and collect those 3 points from them. They are all over the place. Harry Maguire is getting threats of bombs in his house, which is absolutely diabolical behaviour from a so-called football fan. That is a disgrace. I just can't understand how far some of these so-called football fans take it. He must be mentally in a bad place. Ronaldo's had the week from hell. You can't even imagine how he's feeling. As a team, they've just lost 4-0 to Liverpool, been annihilated. Their fans are destroying them. Pogba's injured. Rashford's out of form. They've got no confidence. Yet somehow we still know as Arsenal fans that this game is going to be difficult. Because if anybody can give you a gift when you think there's no hope, it is Arsenal Football Club, a.k.a. Santa Claus FC, a.k.a. Father Christmas United. They will give you a win when you need it the most. So we have to make sure we get this job dealt with quickly against United. We need to score early. Graham said, Curtis, you are spot on. We need to buy the right balance of players, those that have quality, but we also need depth in the overall squad to compete in a number of competitions. I think we need those players now that walk into the dressing room and Saka and Smith Rowe look at him and go, yo, he's a baller. I've seen him. I've played. You need to feel like these guys are going to lift the level. No disrespect to the players we bought last year. We do need some more squad players who can help the squad and boost the numbers if we're in Europe. But I think this summer we need 1 or 2 signings that the fan base are excited about, that you want to get their name on your shirt, that you can't wait to watch them play. I think we need that little bit of magic now, and that's what I think we're lacking. And Champions League helps you get that, because clubs will look at Arsenal different with Champions League football. That is for damn sure. Reem said, set up for a massive game. Arsenal, the gift bearers. Anything could happen in this game. It really could. Maguire should leave for his own good. I think Manchester United are going to have to sell Maguire. I think sometimes you've got to write it off. I would sell Wan-Bissaka as well. I think he's awful. Fraser said, anyone who threatens violence or wishes ill health towards individuals is despicable. The man's got 2 kids and a fiance in his house, and you're giving him, you're threatening a bomb. I mean, what do you think that's going to do to him? Is that going to encourage him to perform better, or is he going to think I don't want to be here? It's just absurd. It really is. South London's finest. Big up, bro. Can we get 1,000 likes? Big up, everyone watching. Hope you're having a great Friday. 1,300 of you tuned in on YouTube and nearly 100 on Twitch. Great support as usual. Make sure you subscribe. Watch Along Business tomorrow, 11:45 a.m. Let's get into the press conference, people, and hear what the manager has to say. He's all smiles. He looks a lot happier than he did before the Chelsea game. Arteta on Manchester United and Ketia on the top 4. Of course, he was going to speak about Eddie. His love child. I'm convinced, man, when he came to Arsenal, he had a wild night in London. And Eddie was the creation of that. Another press conference and another Tomiyasu update. He's been on his way back for about 2 months, and somehow he still hasn't kicked a ball for us. Waffle settings back in full effect, people. Get the syrup ready. And the first question, on the team news and Tomiyasu, he said, if he trains today and he feels good, he will be available tomorrow. Surely, man, surely he's available now. They actually said he should have been available for Chelsea. They pictured him in training. Is Tomiyasu going to be back in the squad for tomorrow? And would you play him? Would you play him? Has he been out for so long that he's not match fit and you can't risk him? Or, because apparently he's been training for a few weeks, is he fit enough to play? Because let's be honest, one place Man United are going to trouble us tomorrow is out wide, because Sancho and Rashford are quick. They're going to run at us. Remember, our fullbacks are out at the moment. I know a lot of people criticise Rashford. He's poor, he's washed up, people have said. I think against, if we've got Ben White at right back, he's going to trouble him. So Cedric didn't play in the week. So this is what I'm saying. I think we're going to have to adjust the team slightly. So we'll have to see. On any fresh injury worries, man said they've suspended his betting accounts. If Tomiyasu doesn't play tomorrow, I think he could be out for the season. I just think if he's not in the squad tomorrow, I think they're lying about this injury. On any fresh injury worries, he said, no, we haven't really trained. We had a recovery session yesterday. Today we are training late in the stadium. Yeah, for anybody that is interested, Arsenal are training at the Emirates at 6 p.m. this evening. So if anybody, wants to catch the players coming out, they're usually in the cars or whatever. You can get autographs and stuff usually, but they're training at the Emirates Stadium at 6 o'clock tonight, which is, I'm not sure why they're doing that. Seems a bit interesting to train on the pitch so close to the game, when you would think they would want the pitch in perfect condition. But yeah, they're training at the Emirates 6 o'clock tonight. So he said no fresh injury worries. Kembo said Rashford loves to score against us. Yeah, we made him. We made Marcus Rashford. Premier League debut, 2 goals. On knocking Manchester United out of top 4 contention, he said, I think there are going to be a lot of twists still. That's what we have to do, perform and play well tomorrow to deserve to win the match. I think if United lose to Arsenal, I think they're out of the top 4 race, I've got to be honest. I just don't think they'll catch whoever finishes 4th. They've still got to play Chelsea at home. I just don't think they will. On Eric Ten Hag, is it Ten Hag or Ten Hag? I always call him Ten Hag, but it's H-A-G, looks like Hag. Yes, I think he's been really good what he did a couple of years ago in the Champions League, especially the way his team plays. It's a Man United decision. There's nothing more to say. Exactly, man. Just slap him on his bald head when he comes here, man. He ain't got hair like Mikel, so keep it moving. Another bald head fraud. Hag in Dutch, it's a long A. All right, so we're going Hag. I'll just stick to how I say it anyway. The solution is full of unwanted here. Listen, he's going to have a big job on his hands, Ten Hag. It doesn't matter how good he is. That is a tough job. On the timing of the announcement, he said, for us, no impact. For them, I don't know what's going to happen, but for us, nothing changes. There's diss track number 1. I don't care about your Ten Hag. He said, Big C, I can tell you Ronaldo is going to be on smoke. Listen, 100%. He's going to be on it. Hey, FaZe, listen, man. I've said I think he's a good manager. I do. But listen, we have to talk smoke when he's a rival. But he is going to have a big job on his hands. That dressing room's going to take a lot to fix. Right, here we go. Eddie and Nketiah. On Eddie's chances of playing on Saturday, he said, we will see. Let's see how he recovers, how everybody is. We will try to put the best team possible. Let's be honest. If Eddie's fit, he's playing. It's as simple as that. He's waited all season for Eddie to have that game. There's no way on earth he's going to drop him. It's just not going to happen. He will be Eric Ten Hodgson next season. Man said Ten Hodgson. Hopefully he struggles. No disrespect, United fans. We don't want him doing well. On whether he wants to keep Eddie. Oh, man. He said it's what he does all the time. He hasn't had enough minutes to show what he can do. That's why I said what I said. he's going to play him if he's fit, and, maybe he's justified in that. On changing a winning side, he said, it is hard, but fortunately that's been the case in many weeks. We had to pick other players that have to step in, and they've done well for the team. They always prepare well. That's what we expect. That doesn't mean we're always going to repeat the same lineup. We have options to change, and we have options to change again tomorrow and play in different ways. We're going to do a little preview of the team after this press conference, and I do believe we should change our lineup and change our shape a little bit for tomorrow's game. Big up M. Baron, who said, just tuned in. Hope you're well. Big up everyone on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you follow. Saravana said, another hat-trick for Ronaldo. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. You give Ronaldo chances, he will punish you. And one thing we're doing at the moment is giving chances away. Shibe said, we need smoke big time. And Leno in, said Gunnar. That'll be interesting. Let's carry on. He said, on finishing in the top 4, he said, I'm very excited about the options we have ahead of us, and we're going to give it a go and try our best. On assessing Man United against Liverpool, he said, I'm not here to assess anybody's performance. I watched the game. It was an exceptional game. The first half, especially the way Liverpool played. We all know how difficult it is to go to Anfield. I mean, we lost 4-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. They have really good moments in the season and exceptional players, and they have the ability to beat any team. Exactly, that's the thing. They can do that. Apart from Manchester City, probably, and maybe Chelsea. I think Liverpool can do that to anybody in the division. They can beat you 4-0, especially at Anfield. If we can keep Ronaldo quiet, we will beat them. Yeah, that's what you would think. If Ronaldo gets chances, it's problems. It's problems because he will score if you give him the chance. So we'll see. We'll see, people. United did what Arsenal always does at Anfield. Yeah. On Saka's penalty, he said, what he tells me is the moment that he had with the experience that he had is over. And he learned from that, and he's willing to take more responsibility. He's willing to take big decisions, and big moments can define. And that's what I want. As he says, he's confident to step forward, and he's ready for the team. I mean, that was his first penalty, Saka, since missing in the Euros. It was probably a good time to take it. Time added on. Even if he misses that, we probably win the game. But I respect him for stepping up. Mendy's a good goalkeeper. And it was important for him to score that goal. On a change in energy since beating Chelsea. Let's have a look. We definitely need to finish our chances. He said, after winning, a dressing room is much better than a losing one. When I have to analyse that energy, obviously is better. But what I'm proud about is how the team behave when things are not going our way and when things become difficult. How willing everyone is to push the boat in the same direction. Let's just hope it's not the Titanic we're pushing, you know what I mean? We need to push a proper boat, that's thriving, not a sinking ship. So, listen, they've stuck together and bounced back. On how the academy players have dealt with pressure, he said that's because all the work a lot of coaches, a lot of people have made. Do you know what? I'm going to skip through some of this. I've said if you want Champions League, you have to go to these stadiums and be able to win. It is rare, but our 3 academy players scored and made a difference in the game. Which is, listen, it's great to see Hale End doing its thing. I have to admit, this press conference is a bit of a boring one. The questions aren't great and the answers aren't great either. To be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired. Let's get through it. On a fan-led TIFO display for Saturday, I'm really pleased to hear all of these things because the initiative means that they are really engaged with the team. They want to show them they are with the team, that they want to participate and feel like they are participating in the success of the team. I've always said it's what makes a stadium a fortress. It will be difficult. They have a big part to play. Hopefully tomorrow they can help us do that. Oh, dear. I mean, so you might see banners and all sorts going off around the stadium. We're going to look like a FIFA stadium tomorrow, people. Maybe we'll have fireworks going off and all sorts. Man said, roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. If Eddie doesn't score the goals, we're going Conference League. Rock, rock, rock the boat. Push the boat, people. Push that boat, people. Ah, dear me. Right, let's move anyway. TIFO-led display at Arsenal, so you might see fireworks, banners, all sorts going off. I mean, all they've asked him here is on turning Arsenal around. Look how long the answer is. I'm sorry, people. It's Friday. We got lots to do. The Dillian White Fury press conference is on. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm really not. I'm looking, is there anything specific? I mean, he said, I have a great connection with Edu, with the board, with the ownership. That relationship is vital. He said, especially in this stage of our project, without it, we don't have at the moment 5 world-class players. We don't have 5 world-class players. Do you know what? I don't think we have 1 world-class player, to be honest. I don't think we have 1 world-class player. That's no disrespect to the team. I'm just thinking, do Arsenal have a world-class player? Not really one. Every week, because they're going to score hat-tricks here, we don't have that. So what we have to do is get... See, I think when you buy a lot of young players, it gives you that excuse of saying, they're not ready, they need time, I don't have superstars, I don't have world-class. It's like he created this to give himself more time, you know. Partey, for me, I don't think he's world-class. I honestly don't. Too injury-prone in the Premier League. When he's at it, he's brilliant, but nah. Fit said, 1 win in 4, turning Arsenal around. He's turning around like Robbie, mate, when Thomas Partey signed. We got to party hard. Yeah, we got to party hard. Oh, dear. Brennan Zero said, funny we win on Wednesday. We don't hear Arteta complain about congested fixtures. Exactly. It's not a problem now. I'm not going to read all of that. I'm really not. What we have to do is get exceptional people that are so connected with a very clear direction and ambition about what we want to do. It's politician settings. On the patience that Edu and the board have given him and whether he can offer any advice to Man United's new manager. He said, I cannot give any advice, you know. I haven't been here 25 years in a row to give advice to anybody. I just try to do my job as good as possible and the rest have to try to do the same. I mean, Edu needs to look in the mirror himself, mate. You know what I mean? But, oh, man. Yeah, I don't think Arteta is in a position to be giving Ten Hag advice. You know, you got to do your own job, bro. You know what I mean? Long way to go before you start handing advice out. So we move. Aubameyang was world-class 2 years back, 100%. So Tierney is world-class then. Not for me. Not world-class. I don't think he is. I think he's a very good left-back. I don't think he's world-class. I don't think we have 1 world-class player. Stupid question in the first place. It was, you know. Let's carry on anyway. On whether the best is yet to come from our young team, he said, no, I think the potential of individuals and the collective is much bigger, I hope. In terms of quality consistency, let's skip it. It's waffle. On the tragic news about Ronaldo, he said, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about something like that because unless you experience it, you probably cannot be in the same level to express or go through the pain. At least what this country and this league has shown and what happened at Anfield the other day, I think this is exceptional. And I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not reading all of it, but I respect what he's saying there. And listen, I think what the Liverpool fans did, I thought was absolutely unbelievable. And when you see, you know, Maguire getting threatened with bombs, what you saw there at Anfield from them Liverpool fans in particular, that's what being a football fan is all about. And that's something that I think being a football supporter is about. That was a great moment. 2 clubs that have a huge rivalry, and they applauded and sang You'll Never Walk Alone. I respect it highly. On Lacazette's availability, he said he trained yesterday. Hopefully he'll be feeling better. After COVID, we have players that struggled for weeks, others that recovered quickly. Let's see. But obviously he's a player that we need. Do we need him? No disrespect, though. I'm not disrespecting him, but I don't know if we need him that much. No, we need him as part of the group. Contributing and being at his best, hopefully he can recover quickly. This press conference is a drab press conference. I'm not going to lie. This is tiring me out. On Mohamed El Neni, he said, I will say that for me, he's one of the most important players in the squad. Cap, and more cap. Let's be real here. I think they said he hasn't started for 3 months. He's obviously not that important. He said, for what he does when you give him the chance to play, and what he does when he doesn't play, it's a phenomenal person. And then you have to judge the footballer as well, that sometimes doesn't get the probably the credit he deserves. If he's that good, play him. You know, if he's a phenomenal person, play him. You obviously get on a personal level with him, and you don't think he's that good as a player. Because if you did, you would have played him. It's pure waffle. It's pure waffle, people. I'm actually getting tired reading this press conference. So this is a boring one. He's capping there. On if he convinced him to stay last summer, he said it was more in January than the summer. I think he understood with the squad we had, I could not let another player leave. It's a tough balance because at the end they're in a period of the career, they're looking to extend their football lives. I thought he could be important. On if and then he could sign a new deal, he said it's another one we're going to have a conversation at the end of the season. Don't get carried away with one performance. On if he wants to keep him, he said, I'm really happy with him. That's what I can say. Oh, man. Pure cap from him. Pure cap. Yeah, Arteta. This one's a stinker, I can't lie. I'm following in the footsteps of Wenger. I mean, let's not do that either. Dillian White and Fury squaring up to each other here. People looks a bit more serious today. They're a bit more angry with each other today. He said, it does cross my mind when taking the job, but it was tiny in comparison to the excitement and opportunity that I saw to join this club. Listen, mate, I know Arsene Wenger went out at the end, but you ain't ready to be Arsene Wenger. You ain't ready to walk in them shoes. I'm not even going to lie. You know, you're a long way off them shoes. These men are hugging each other. I've never seen man do this in a press conference. They just swapped hats and hugged each other. I'm just sorry to be distracted, people. White and Fury press conferences on BT Sport. These men are hugging each other and everything. But yeah, you ain't walking in Arsene Wenger's footsteps, bro. I think you need to leave that one. On if he almost became manager straight after Arsene left, he said it was close, but things happened for a reason. Probably was too soon. On why he didn't become our manager, he said, there are people who made decisions and they made a different decision. On if he turned down the job, he said, for me to turn down this club is extremely difficult. When you see it closely, there is something happening there that you just want to do. But again, they signed another exceptional coach that again is showing in Villarreal how good he is. Man didn't even say his name, you know. But sometimes it's not about the capacity of the person. It's the capacity of the context that you showed or the team that it fits. If it's the right moment or not. Oh, he's absolutely on one. On if it helped him not replacing Wenger straight away, he said, I don't know. The thing is, the expectations of the club are always going to be the best. Do you know, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it there, people. I think I'll be asleep by the end of this press conference. The man didn't even name Emery, you know. He said, yeah, that guy at Villarreal's doing well, but, you know, that was an absolute stinker of a press conference. I'm going to have to take these to Twitch maybe from next week. I can't keep reading that. That might have been more exciting if we heard him speak, but that was a stinker. Journalist was probably bored and just threw away any questions. Right, do you know what? Let's try and lift the mood a little bit. Let's look ahead to the game tomorrow. Let's talk about the team. Let's try and figure out a team between us. Man said, man dissed Emery and the board as well. I'm telling you, he didn't care. Mick Ross diss tracks, subliminals. Let's look ahead to the game tomorrow because that waffle settings was absolute shambolic. I'm half asleep after that. How do we approach Manchester United tomorrow? Now, we're going to have to assume that one or two things happen. One of them, I mean, he's saying Tomiyasu, if he trains today, will be available tomorrow. Now, would you bring Tomiyasu back into this team, or has he been out for too long? And is he not ready? Potentially be playing against Sancho or Rashford. I think we need to... I would go back to 4 at the back. I'm going to be totally honest. I would go to 4 at the back. I don't think you need to play 5 defenders against an out-of-form Manchester United. So for me, even though Ramsdale, and I gave him a 5 out of 10 and made a mistake, I would stick with him because, let's face it, Leno might leave in the summer. And you don't want to kill Ramsdale's confidence. We won the game. Sometimes you make a mistake, you can get away with it. But I don't think... Yeah, I wouldn't drop him. O'Connor said he'd stick with the Chelsea lineup. And I get it. And Harsh said, why change a winning combination? I just think to play 5 at the back against Man United is not necessary. I really don't. That's my opinion, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe we should play 3 at the back and hit them on the break again. But I just think, number one, Ben White didn't work in that system. And I think United's wide players are going to be a threat because they are quick and direct. And with Ronaldo in the middle, I wouldn't have Rob Holding on the pitch. So for me, I would go to a back 4. And I would go, personally, with Cedric at right back. Didn't play the other day. This is assuming Tomiyasu isn't back. I go Tavares at left back. He played well the other day. I thought he did well against Chelsea. And then you go Ben White and Gabriel as your two centre-backs for that stability for me. Because let's face it, if you keep Ronaldo quiet, there's a good chance we win the game. And I think if you're playing a back three and Rob Holding's in that back three and Ben White's getting dragged out to the right, I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem. And I just don't think you need 5 defenders on the pitch against Manchester United, the way they're playing. I'd rather play on the front foot and dominate the ball a little bit. The midfield, Chuckle Brothers, people. Chuckle Vision. Stick with them. They played well the other day. Let's face it, we don't really have any other option. I know you could go Sambi, but you're just not going to play him at the moment in these games. So the Chuckle Brothers, for me, Chuckle Brothers settings, they work hard. They'll protect the back four. Xhaka nutmegging people. And listen, Manchester United team news. While we're here talking, Ralph Rangnick has spoke. Ralph Rangnick has said that Varane, Ronaldo and McTominay are back. Varane, Ronaldo and McTominay are back from the game against Liverpool. So Varane obviously is a big boost. Ronaldo obviously is a huge boost for them. McTominay, I mean, is that a good thing or not? I don't know. Pogba is out for the season, apparently. He's been told he'll be out for at least 4 weeks, and they don't expect Pogba to play for the rest of the season. So Varane, McTominay and Ronaldo are back. So as I can say straight away, people, this will be a tough game. No Luke Shaw, no Fred, and no Pogba for Manchester United. So I'm telling you now, people, I'm not going into this game full of confidence. I've got to be totally honest. I still think we're going to have a tough day at the office. And Ronaldo and Varane is a big boost for them. Now, what do we do with this attack? Odegaard will play in the 10, so let me put Odegaard, he's captain at the moment. He's not going to get dropped. Played well against Chelsea. I think he needed to get on the ball more. But you're playing against people like McTominay. You should be getting joy in that number 10 role. Go around here, run McTominay ragged. Now, what do we do with the front three? This is where I need your opinion, people. Do you go with the front three that played at Chelsea, where Smith Rowe was excellent, he scored. Saka was excellent, he scored. And Nketiah played really well and scored 2. Would you go with the same front three? Now, let's face it, Saka starts. If Saka can walk, he starts. So let me just write him in straight away. He's going to play. Would you change anything? Omar said front three at Chelsea. Nick said get Martinelli. And Anthony's saying the same thing. See, my only thing is I looked at Man United's fullbacks the other day and they were absolutely awful. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka were so bad. And I think you've got to get at them guys. I really do. It's sad because in my head, for some reason, and it might be harsh, I would like to play Martinelli up front. But he's not going to do that. He's not going to do it. I just think against Varane, with his pace, it will be difficult for Eddie. I think this will be a harder game for Eddie than Chelsea. He was playing against Malang Sarr and Christensen, man. They were poor against us. He's going to play. A lot of you saying Gabby should come back into the team. Gabby should start up front, look dangerous. We'll need his pace where De Gea is slow. Can't drop Eddie after a brace. Arteta will play SR. The guy loves him. Eddie is the new number 9. Martinelli will destroy their defence. Can't drop. To be fair, Gabby was up top for Eddie when he came off. Man like Eddie, play ESR at 10. Martinelli on the left. Eddie up top. Listen, I'm going to be honest. He's going to play Eddie and Nketiah up front. But it's hard to drop a guy that's just scored 2 goals. But I'd be tempted to play Martinelli. I got to be honest. But whether you play him on the left, because I saw Dalot the other day getting destroyed by Mo Salah. I saw Wan-Bissaka all over the place against Sadio Mane. What I don't want us to do is let their fullbacks off the hook. We need players that can run at them. And Martinelli's so direct. that he can do that. Yeah, Maguire probably won't play after all this stuff and the threats. They'll probably play Lindelof or Eric Bailly. Now, I think Bailly and Varane would be difficult for Eddie Nketiah because the pace of Varane, the aggression of Bailly, I think they would cause him problems. Listen, he's gonna play ESR and Eddie because they've both scored. They've both played well. I can't see Martinelli coming back into the team. I got to be honest. Martinelli's going to be on the bench. And it pains me because I'm a big fan of him. He's going to play Smith Rowe and Saka. He just is. Smith Rowe, Saka and Nketiah. I know. People can see that I don't want to put Eddie in the team. Do you know what it is? He played so well that you can't drop him. Really. You can't drop him. People saying Ranić doesn't rate by, so maybe go Lindelof and Varane. What you got to do to Eddie is just say, listen, just run them, tire them out. 60 minutes, you take him off and you get Gabby on. Drop ESR for Martinelli. It's a tough one, isn't it, man? It's a tough one. He hit his 10th Premier League goal of the season against Chelsea and he hasn't even started that much. Saka as well hits 10. I can't see any of them getting dropped. Listen, for me, I'd like to start Martinelli somehow, but I don't know where you put him. Lacazette as well, but for me, Lacazette doesn't start. Listen, if you've got Martinelli, Lacazette, and you've got Pepe on the bench, that's good options. And it's sad, Yard man, because Pepe has a great record against Man United. Usually Luke Shaw's at left back and he rips him apart. He does rip him apart. I've got to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I wouldn't play this team. I don't know what it is. I just wouldn't play that front three. I would play Martinelli. I would play Martinelli for the pace. I think pace hurts Man United's back 4 or 5 more than anything else. But I think this is the team that he will play. I think this is what he will play tomorrow. It just shows how weak our squad is. Because let's be honest, people, this is not a good Arsenal team. Do you know what I mean? Look at that midfield pivot. Xhaka and El Neni. Now, I know they played really well against Chelsea. I would say El Neni's out of contract. I wouldn't give him a new deal. Xhaka, I would downgrade to a squad player or sell him. I would not have him starting next season. So these two midfielders would be one on the bench, one gone, maybe both of them gone. And Nketiah, unless he hits form between now and the end of the season, I wouldn't give him a new deal either. Tavares is a backup player. Cedric is a backup player. So you've only really got Ramsdale, Gabriel, White, Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe. Half of that team is bench and sellable, could be gone in the summer. It's a poor team. But they did perform well against Chelsea, but it shows how much we're lacking squad depth. If we were playing Man City or Liverpool this week with that team, I'd be doing the watch-along from behind the sofa. Let me tell you that. But it's Man United, and we might get away with it. I'm just still not sure about that team. I think Eddie, because he scored 2, he won't get dropped. But I got to be honest, I would still think about changing that team. I don't know why. I think Martinelli should be in that front three. That's my opinion. I don't know who you take out, though. But listen, we got good options on the bench. If we can start lively and you can bring on Pepe, Lacazette, you can bring on Martinelli, it's good to have those options on the bench. It's just in my head, I'm thinking United are going to have a better team than that on the pitch, on paper. It's just how they perform. I mean, they're going to have probably De Gea in goal. Their back four will probably be Dalot, Telles, Lindelof, Varane, Matic, McTominay, Bruno, Rashford, Ronaldo, Sancho. You know, on paper, it sounds great. They just pour them, you know. So it's going to be a tough game. I got to be honest, I'm nervous. I am nervous. Omar said Leno in goal. Do you know what it is? I don't think Ramsdale has done enough quite yet to get dropped for a guy that's going to leave in the summer. But if we'd lost to Chelsea and he made that mistake, I would have dropped him. Alanga, of course, could start out wide, maybe over Rashford. But yeah, if we lost to Chelsea and he made that mistake, I would have considered dropping him. Khalid said, Martinelli, man of the match for Arsenal whenever we played at home against a top 6 team. He ripped up Man City, he ripped up Trent. Just something tells me that Martinelli should be in this starting lineup. It does. I don't know why. I just think his direct running will damage them. I think that front three may struggle at times. But listen, I hope I'm wrong. We can't out-header them. That's another way. Ben White needs to be a backup next season with Gabriel and Saliba. Listen, the competition will be good for the club. You know, get Saliba back. And he needs to be pressing Ben White for that spot. And if I was Saliba, I'd be looking at that and thinking I can get in that Arsenal team. So let's hope he comes back. Maybe Lingard starts Millie rocking settings. Nah, I don't want to see none of that. Bob said 3-4-2-1. Gabriel Holding, White, Martinelli, Xhaka, Elneny, Saka, ESR, Odegaard, Eddie. Yeah, I'm just... do you know what it is, bro? I'm just not comfortable with Rob Holding against Ronaldo. I'm just not. But listen, we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if he played the same team. It's just, if Tomiyasu's fit, I think he'll try and play him. And I think he has to change the system. Or does he replace Rob Holding with Tomiyasu? Tomiyasu could play in a back three. Tomiyasu, Gabriel and Ben White. So we'll have to see, people. We'll have to see. The Emirates will be bouncing and they're muddered. On paper, they're better, but we will definitely outwork them, get a goal and they'll crumble. I think if you go 1-0 up against this United team, their heads will drop. You know, their manager's just a supply teacher. He's there. The kids are messing about. That's what they're doing. They're throwing paper airplanes and swinging on their chair. All kinds of messing about going on at Old Trafford. But it's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. Listen, my early prediction is a 2-1 win for Arsenal because I'm going to back the team. But I am nervous about this game because we're that team that when you're out of form, somehow you can find your way out of a mess. We've got to score first. We've got to take the game to them, put them under pressure. But it's going to be difficult. As I said, Varane is back, McTominay is back, and Ronaldo is back. So it's going to be tough. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. Really exciting game. El Bantaco, people. But listen, a victory would put us up to 4th. Tottenham's game in hand is at 5:30. They play Brentford away, and hopefully Ivan Toney and them guys can do us a favour. Yeah, I don't usually like early kickoffs, but our last early kickoff we beat Aston Villa away. So I am looking forward to that one. Hopefully we can take that into this game. And Man United's confidence levels will be low after getting spanked at Liverpool. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's it. People, thank you very much for tuning in. Quick hour today. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Like the video. Can we hit 1,000? Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitch as well. And join me tomorrow, 11:45, El Bantaco, Arsenal against Manchester United. It will be Scenes FC, let me tell you that, because I got a lot of Manchester United friends, and I do not want to lose to them. Like, if we can beat them, I think that's United out of the top 4 race, and it gives us a great chance of getting in that Champions League. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, people. Thank you very much for tuning in and all your great comments. And I will see you tomorrow. Early morning watch-along settings. El Bantaco, 11:45 a.m. Bless.